The night was quiet, but inside Arman's heart, a storm was raging. He sat by the window, staring at the empty street, wondering where his dreams had gone. Just a few years ago, he had promised himself he'd become a successful graphic designer, build his own brand, and make his parents proud. But today, his laptop lay closed, dusty, untouched for months. He had started with fire in his heart. Every morning, he woke up early, watched tutorials, designed logos, and learned new techniques. But as weeks passed, his excitement began to fade. Some days he felt lazy, other days he felt lost. When he didn't see results quickly, frustration took over. "I guess success just isn't for everyone," he muttered one night, closing his laptop for what he thought was the last time. Life moved on. He took a small job in a local printing shop, not what he dreamed of, but it paid the bills. His routine became dull: work, home, sleep, repeat. Each day looked the same, and each night he wondered what might have happened if he hadn't given up so easily. But destiny has strange ways of testing people. One morning, an old friend, Rafiq, visited the shop. Rafiq had once been Arman's classmate, an average student, quiet, never in the spotlight. But today, he walked in wearing confidence, carrying a business card that said, "Rafiq Design Studio, Creative Head." Arman forced a smile. "Wow, Rafiq. You actually did it?" Rafiq grinned. "Yeah, bro. It took time, and a lot of patience. But I never stopped trying." That line hit Arman like lightning. "I never stopped trying." It kept echoing in his head long after Rafiq left. That night, Arman opened his old laptop again. Dust flew off the screen, and for the first time in months, he felt alive. The next morning, Arman decided, "This time, I won't stop halfway." He started small. One design a day. That was his rule. Even if he was tired, even if it was bad, he'd design something, anything. At first, it felt strange. His skills were rusty, his confidence low. But each day he completed a new piece, he felt a spark reignite inside him. Some nights he worked late after his shift at the print shop. His eyes burned from tiredness, but his heart felt light. Slowly, he began sharing his work online again. No one noticed at first. No likes, no comments. But instead of quitting, Arman reminded himself of Rafiq's words, "I never stopped trying." Weeks turned into months. He kept going, every single day. And then, one morning, he woke up to find a message in his inbox. "Hi Arman, I saw your logo designs. Can you create one for my startup?" It was a small order, but to him, it felt like winning a gold medal. He worked with full dedication, delivered the design, and the client was impressed. Soon, that client referred another. Then another. Arman realized something powerful. Success doesn't come from big steps. It grows from small, consistent efforts repeated daily. He started posting regularly, improving his designs, learning from mistakes. His followers began increasing, his confidence returned, and his portfolio grew stronger each week. One night, while reviewing his old sketches, he smiled. The difference between his first and latest design was massive. Consistency had turned effort into mastery. Everything was going well, until life threw another test. The print shop he worked at suddenly shut down. The owner couldn't keep it running anymore. Arman was jobless again, with bills to pay and no steady income from design yet. For a moment, panic took over. Maybe this is a sign to quit again, he thought. But then he remembered, success loves consistency. He told himself, if I stop now, I'll lose everything I've built so far. So he continued. Day after day, even without a job, even when money ran short. He took small freelance gigs, designed posters for local cafes, and used his free time to improve. Some nights he went to bed hungry, but his spirit refused to die. Whenever doubt tried to creep in, he opened his old notebook where he had written a quote. "Don't judge your day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." That kept him going. After a few hard months, his consistency began to pay off again. His online work started getting noticed by bigger companies. One day, he received an email from a digital marketing agency. They wanted him as a part-time designer. The pay wasn't huge, but it was steady. More importantly, it was a reward for not quitting. He smiled at the message and whispered, "Thank you, consistency. You're the real magic." With time, Arman's reputation grew. Clients loved his reliability, not just his designs, but the fact that he always delivered on time. He was consistent, organized, and dependable. Soon, his small freelance projects turned into a full-time business. He registered his own brand, Arman Designs. What once started on a dusty laptop now became a professional studio with real clients, real projects, and real results. One day, while attending a design conference, he met Rafiq again. Rafiq smiled proudly. "Man, look at you. I always knew you'd make it." Arman laughed, "I almost didn't. But I finally understood what you meant back then. Success loves consistency." The audience at the conference asked him to share his story. Arman stood on the stage, nervous at first, but then spoke from his heart. "I failed many times. I quit once too. But what changed my life wasn't luck or talent, it was showing up every day, even when I didn't feel like it. Consistency taught me that success isn't an event, it's a lifestyle. You water the seed daily before it becomes a tree." His words touched everyone in the hall. The applause echoed in his heart, not because of fame, but because he had lived those words. Years later, Arman became one of the most respected designers in his city. He trained young artists, telling them the same lesson that had changed his own life. "Success isn't built overnight," he said during one of his workshops. "It's built every morning when you wake up and do what you said you'd do, even when no one's watching." One student raised her hand and asked, "Sir, how do you stay consistent when you don't see results?" Arman smiled softly. "Because I learned that results don't come first, consistency does. If you stay consistent long enough, results have no choice but to follow." The hall went silent. Everyone felt the truth in his words. As the workshop ended, he packed his laptop, looked at the empty chairs, and felt a deep sense of peace. He wasn't just successful now, he was fulfilled. When he returned home that night, he opened his old laptop, the same one that once gathered dust, and looked at his very first design. It was rough, uneven, amateur. But to him, it was beautiful. It reminded him of where he started, and how far he had come, not by speed, not by luck, but by showing up every single day. He smiled and whispered the words that had guided his journey. "Success loves consistency." Then he closed his laptop, not because he was quitting, but because tomorrow, he'd wake up and start again.